Hi, folks. William Stillman, Psychic Medium. We're back in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Today is Monday, June 12th, 2023. I am joined once again by Jaffa Kaufman
Hello.
of spiritedevents.jaffa.com. As always and as before, I have no idea where we'll be going today or what we'll be doing, but I know that Jaffa has some tricks up her sleeve and that she has scouted out 3 locations for us. And it'll be interesting to see what we get from today. So once again, thank you.
My pleasure. I'm excited as always.
I'm
to
excited
show you.
too. We'll see what we get. So we're at another location that Jeremy, you own this property also.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. So it's a large barn. Is it more than one building?
It is. It's all connected, but yeah.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah.
All right. And this is all of the Civil War era also?
It is.
Yeah. So I'm hearing artillery fire and cannon out that way, if that would make any sense.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, it's not directly ahead of, it's sort of over Bruce's head, over Caddy Corner to where we are. I don't know if that would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense.
And what I'm wondering then, if there were... Would there have been a road connecting the area where I'm picking up on with where we are here? Like this would have been a dirt road, obviously, at one time, I'm assuming.
This was a dirt road.
Right. So would there have been, where I'm picking up on the artillery fire and the cannon fire, would there have been a road that would have sort of almost cut directly across?
Well,
to your knowledge?
Old Route 30, or the road we were on previously at the Cashtown Inn, that road goes straight like this into Gettysburg.
So
this road ties in.
The reason why I'm asking is because I'm wondering if there were, again, men that were wounded or dying that were brought here.
I don't know. I cannot answer that. I don't know that they would have been brought here, so to speak. So, not that they could not have been. The road, this road right here is actually our oldest road here in this area. That road was put in 1747, but it went from Chambersburg to York, so it bypassed Gettysburg. Not that there wasn't little feeder roads coming off of that, but that main road was actually went from York to Chambersburg in 1747. So.
And do you know anything about a fire that was on the property or possibly impacted the structure at some point in time? Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Nothing that would have impacted anything that's here today that I know of. No.
Thank you. I also want to ask about the name Adam or Adams as a last name. And
doesn't ring a bell.
Thank you. And then, because that leaves open the door possibility when you say that. And then I also want to ask about a prominent J name connected to the property.
Other than me?
Oh, well, you're Jeremy, of course, but that's not it.
I don't know. No, I don't know, other than myself. No. John Deere?
No.
Yeah, okay. I'll just...
This feels very benign to me, but I'm wondering why people would be attracted to this barn. I don't know if it's a place of destination for people. I don't know if... Oh, you've had people trespass here.
I have.
You've had people trespass that are, trying to poke their noses into places where they don't belong.
Yeah.
And
we bury them right out back.
Well, I was just going to ask you. No, literally, I was just going to ask you if there were anyone buried out back. Now I'm back in
Yeah.
Civil War era.
Yeah, see, and that's a very good possibility. I
when I
cannot
was
answer
asking-
that correctly.
So when I was asking if anyone who was injured, wounded, dying had been brought here, then, like, I swear, the split second before you said jokingly, we buried them out back, I was being pulled out back and wondering if, again, there were maybe shallow graves, like what we were picking up on the previous.
Yeah.
in the back.
It's all becoming one blur.
Yeah.
But
I developed
in town,
I developed an almost instant amnesia about everything that I do, which is probably a good thing. So there was another location where we were at earlier where I was picking up on shallow graves, and Bruce was able to validate that. So I'm wondering if there is anything like that out back here. But I'm also being shown that there are orbs have been photographed in and around this building. And that, for whatever reason, this is one of the destinations of curiosity seekers. Is that correct?
Not unless I lead into it. Not unless I inform them of the history and the things that transpired here. But
Okay.
most of the stuff that's here is not common knowledge stuff, even to local or a lot of historians. It's not. Yeah.
So I have to ask a tough question. I'm being shown the phrase illicit conduct or illicit behavior. And do you know if that has any relevance to this site?
Very, very well could have been. The soldiers that arrived at Cashtown was 22,000. Their encampment stretched clear out here. To
So they were in the vicinity?
They were, correct.
So I'm wondering what, and I don't know if it's of the Civil War era or post-Civil War, but I'm wondering what would have constituted illicit behavior.
Well, they killed a goat and some chickens across the
No,
road.
that's not it.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's racier than that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of that was actually done here that would have been of anything bad. So to
I also want to
speak.
ask Jeremy if this is a site that other people would consider "quote unquote" haunted. The reason why I'm asking that is because I'm picking up on 2 or 3 male energies connected to this location, and they may be the ones that are kind of inciting the photography of these orbs that are getting photographed out here. And then also across the field, across the way.
Yes. Yeah, actually across the way has a lot to do with what's here. So,
Oh, it wasn't that close. Was it that close? Was there something that happened right here? It was that close? There's a clash.
so to speak.
So I'm going to stand by everything that I've said, that there are 2, possibly 3 male, very dominant, strong male energies connected to this property, and I'll also extend that across the street. But it feels like, so I'm pointing like right ahead of us, there's a clash or a convergence. Correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I wish it wasn't raining because I would feel much better if we could walk out there a little bit.
I'm seeing it, no, we don't need to, I'm seeing it happen right in front of me as I'm looking. It's brutal.
1800?
Yes. You know about that?
I do.
It's very brief, very quick. I don't even know if it lasts more than an hour. It feels
I
to me
don't
as though
know.
it feels to me as though it's boom, boom, boom,
Cavalry?
very quick,
Cavalry?
No.
very quick. A lot of very young men, very young, like teenage boys. And again, but I'll stand by what I've said. There's 2, maybe maximum of 3, very strong, very dominant male personalities that are more seasoned at at least one, possibly two, had previous military background, previous military experience. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Yeah.
And you don't think there were any wounded that were brought here?
I'm not saying there wasn't.
There has
It's
to
just
be. There
my
has to be.
knowledge, Yeah.
There has to
Yeah.
be, because it's not far
No.
that this is all playing out.
Yeah, it very well could have been.
There has to be.
It would make sense.
Oh goodness, there's I think they're using bayonets. Do you know?
Not that I know of, no.
Right there?
Not
Right there?
Not bayonets.
Are you sure? I just felt
Yeah.
I just felt run through by something.
Well, you might have, but it wouldn't have been a bayonet.
It wasn't a bayonet. What would it have been?
Possibly an arrow.
I'll take an arrow. I'll take anything that's like knife shaped.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Okay, because I felt run through. I assumed it may have was a bayonet. In fact, right here on my abdomen, on the left side of my abdomen, I felt run through. Looking to see if there was a mark.
I was thinking, yeah, did you have a scar there? Yeah.
No, I don't have anything there. No.
Yeah. It.
So this was very quick. It was a burst of something, possibly under. I would be willing to bet under an hour. And then I also feel very strongly that there were some of these boys that were wounded were brought to this barn. I think that's why I was asking if we could go inside.
They were brought. I would say they were brought maybe to this area.
No,
But
I'm
no.
going to stand by what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by the barn.
Yeah. I'm not.
And
we're on-
you may not know that.
No, I may not, and we may be on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we may not know that.
And I'm hearing one of the older, more seasoned men. I'm actually hearing him. I'm wondering if in that era there would have been an echo, or the sound would have carried, because I'm actually hearing him barking orders.
That could have very well been.
But it's from that area.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Who has the last name Good? Or someone named Goody? Do you know?
No, I
Bruce,
don't.
I'm looking at a map. I've got some things I need to look up. Property owners of the area and good or goody.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'll look under maps and going back in time, way back,
Yeah.
the property owners, some of the 1858 map were before, or this area and good or goody.
Thank you.
I'm not having
That's okay.
I know who was here in '58. I know that name.
You do? Who was that?
Miller.
Miller? Right.
Prior to that, I do not know.
What's any connection to the month of May that would be relevant or significant
Yeah.
to this
I don't
property
know.
or the
Yeah.
field across from us? Do you know?
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
So again, and it is my complete ignorance. The Civil War doesn't interest me. I don't have a good working knowledge of it. So I don't know if in May of that year that things were sort of brewing or building up to something, or if there were preliminary meetups here or something in this sort of general area, or if anyone was sort of mapping the lay of the land, so to speak. I don't know if that was all part of that process.
Well, I don't know about May.
They were definitely
Because they were here in May.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm being shown the word
think they were
survey.
here?
Well, in this
they were in the
vicinity,
area, yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't cross the river yet.
Yeah.
I'm being shown the word survey or surveyor.
In May.
Yeah, connected to the month of May. Which to me sounds early. for that, but again, I don't know how far in advance all of that was.
They were here.
They were here?
They were in the area
That's interesting to me.
in May.
Okay,
Confederates were already here.
okay. Well, then that makes sense.
So,
I'm smelling horse manure.
Again,
But
that's probably Bruce.
I don't think it's Bruce. I think it's connected to the barn if there were horses that were kept here. Crazy question, and this might seem like total minutia. Were any of the horses that would have been here commandeered for military use? The reason why I'm asking that is because it almost feels to me as though these horses would have had no experience with anything like that. And so it almost feels to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, or Bruce as a historian, if you know, that there would have been some prep work done with these horses. It feels like there would have been like a sort of a makeshift training operation that they would have been put through so that they were able to maintain composure to the best of their ability during actual combat.
It could have been. Because
Do you know anything at all about that? That's something that
it
never
would make
occurred
sense.
to me.
Yeah, it would make
because the Confederates were looking for horses all the time, taking them from the locals.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's also part of what I was picking up. I was thinking it was more recent, but people kind of coming here where they're not supposed to be here, kind of poking their nose around. And I'm wondering if it also is a reference to that. But is it conceivable that there would have been some sort of preparations with these horses where there may be, I don't know, firing off guns in their vicinity to acclimate them to the sound or that kind of thing? Because I'm assuming these horses had no experience whatsoever of being involved in any regard.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because you know the livestock. If these horses were used for plowing and such, field work, would it be conceivable that when the Army arrived that they took these horses and trained them or put them in harnesses so they would learn how to pull the caissons and the cannon? Because working as a 6-horse team is a lot different than 2 horses pulling a plow.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
It does, and they could have very well done that, whether it was mules or horses or whatever. And this would have been a stable barn, so there obviously would have been horses here.
So you have to have a good lead horse, right?
You do, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
That's so interesting to me. It's something that never occurred to me before, but there would have been some, like a pseudo training process for some of these animals to be involved.
To train them for combat, I don't know that they would have had enough time to do that because that takes time. That's where you...
So none of these horses would have been accustomed to being ridden? Is that what you're saying?
They would have been ridden, not ridden. Gunfire.
Gunfire.
Is like your...
Well, that's why I was asking if maybe someone would to acclimate them, if someone would have been shooting something off.
They could have been.
Like maybe even to weed out which horse they could use or which horse they could trust.
Maybe. They could have. They
Like
did that
just
all
to
the
separate,
time.
survival of the fittest, like to separate out the weakest from the strongest.
Yeah,
have you
maybe.
ever heard of anything like that before?
Sure, that's how they train horses. They train horses like that. They'll
Okay,
take
I'm
them-
going to stand by it, and we'll see
It makes
We'll
sense.
see if you can
Yeah.
do anything
that
more
would
with that.
be
That's so fascinating
yeah.
to me.
Yeah, to actually
Again.
train a horse to do that would have taken more time than what they would have had here, but not
But they
saying-
didn't have a
could
lot of
weed
time.
They could have weeded out the ones that were...
That's why I was thinking
Like
if
one that was partially deaf or something.
they have maybe 2 weeks, because as soon as they get here now, they're starting to explore other areas of Adams County and going east, and it wouldn't take much to, okay, we've got this group of horses, let's hitch them up and teach them
So
to pull the
This is a
cannons.
perfect example of the kind of minutia that I pick up on that the average person wouldn't think of or wouldn't consider as important. There may be things that I am completely overlooking connected to the spot, but I get what I get.
But it makes sense.
I get what I get. But it's so interesting to me. Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to ask is where we're standing now, I could be smelling or tasting gunpowder in the air that's airborne.
Oh, sure.
Is that a possibility? Because
Oh, yeah.
I'm tasting it in my mouth. Yeah. Yuck.
Can I ask if you're
Yes,
getting
please.
anything pre or post Civil War?
Well, post-Civil War, and this is not what you're thinking, I wanted to know if this would have been like a teen destination. Like if kids would have come here to smoke pot, for example, or like to just hang out, or and maybe that's where I was picking up the fire.
Yeah, not. It is possible. It is possible, I guess. Not really to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I could see that happening. This house, once it was no longer a farm, this house was just a rented house, and I could see that happening at the
Okay.
time, possibly.
And I've completely lost all directional bearings. Where is Gettysburg? This way? Oh, that way. That way. Okay. So what's the Lincoln connection then?
Lincoln Highway. Well, this is the
Right
new.
over here.
What's Lincoln Highway? Right here?
Already in
It's just the name.
Highway.
You know,
The
But what's the
origin-
Abraham Lincoln connection?
that I know of.
he wasn't here.
No, he was not here.
Would he have passed that way?
No.
No.
George Washington was probably the closest one here.
No. That's not it. I'm wondering if there's another Lincoln.
I just think that you're getting it because they named this newer road
Lincoln Highway.
where this was a cash town.
Well, that
older
became,
cash town pass.
that road was the Lincoln Highway too for a
Right.
short period of time. That's
I don't know
Which
what
road?
the road that we were
Out
just.
here.
that
Right
ran
here?
past the- No, the one that ran past the inn.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah.
The first transcontinental road.
So I was asking about the name or Adams, and it just occurred to me that we're in Adams County. Okay. Who was that named for?
John Adams. President of
He was a resident here?
President,
Oh, president, right.
because
Right.
that was the promise that Getty said to Curtin at that time or even before to name this county after John Adams. So you're
So
looking,
I don't
you're
know-
looking at 1790,
Yeah.
17.
I don't know if that's it, or if it's another,
I don't know.
different Adams.
That's the only Adams I thought of immediately.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I think that's about all I'm getting.